Hello everybody. The London stockbroker FinCap has decided to give their employees as much holiday as they would like. From next year they can take time off whenever they want, and this is an attempt to deal with the extra stresses and strains that the pandemic has created when people have been particularly under pressure. But there is one stipulation, and that is that they must take at least 4 weeks holiday, and they must take at least 2 or 3 days every 3 months. In other words, their fear in stipulating these free holidays is that people won't take them, that there will be a pressure to keep coming to work. And I think there is a sense in which for many of us work is a kind of addiction. It's very hard not to do it sometimes, and this is increasingly difficult when we can carry our phones around with us and be on call almost any time of the day or even night if we so choose, and if we're not disciplined enough to turn our phones off. And I think this is why there's been this extra pressure during the pandemic, because there's been no gap between work and leisure with people working from home. And so it made me think about work and the way it gets to us. And as somebody who's been fairly self-motivated, I mean, as a minister, there's nobody standing over you telling you what you've got to do. You have to motivate yourself, and of course the danger then is that you push yourself too hard, and I suspect that's not just true of ministers. I think a lot of us feel pressure to push ourselves in relation to our work harder than perhaps is necessary. And I think the other thing that puts pressure on us to keep working is peer pressure. Apparently one of the difficulties that other firms that have tried similar projects have found is that people are unwilling to take advantage of the free holidays because they don't want to be the first to do it. They think their peers will look down on them if they take time off, that there's kudos to be had from being a hard worker, and this can add quite unnecessary pressure to our lives. And so today I thought I'd think about work, and I still do a little, and make sure it doesn't take over my life. And for someone working full time, I think it's very important to get this balance between work and leisure right. The problem is, of course, that trying to make sure that you have enough leisure and take enough holiday can produce its own anxieties. Charlie HR, a software firm that had a similar program of giving people choice about when and how long their holidays were, had to abandon it because the anxiety that it created in people as to whether they were being fair, whether they were taking the right amount, just was far worse than the original problem. People liked the boundaries, they liked to know what they were entitled to, and certainly it is easier if there's someone else to tell us when we can take time off and when we can't. But even when that's the case, we are still tempted sometimes to push harder at our work than we should. And I think today it's worth just checking to make sure that the leisure, the balance between leisure time and work time is healthy in our lives.